Are lifters strong because of their technique or despite it? If we understand that relationship better, I think the implications could be huge. It could help us build better coaching models, better tools, and better interventions to improve performance. It could help explain why some lifters express strength so well and others leak force everywhere. The literature is still incomplete across several areas, including how technique findings translate into practical outcomes across lifters. A big reason I care about this is because powerlifting is part of why I went to PT school in the first place. I wanted to understand movement better, and I honestly wanted to become the best powerlifter I could. Graduated and actually started applying what I was taught in school, the more I started noticing the same pattern everywhere. Movement strategy clearly matters. Slide a patient's foot back a couple inches in a chair before they perform a sit to stand. Suddenly, they can rep it out. Lifter had to arch a little bit better on bench and they instantly move more weight. Change how someone organizes a squat, and the whole rep can go from chaotic to springy. Small changes in organization can completely change force expression. So technique clearly matters. Question isn't if it matters, how much does it matter relative to everything else that makes someone strong? And when you look at the literature, the picture seems pretty clear. Strength is being driven primarily by neuromuscular and muscular adaptation, not by technique alone. But the literature also does not support the idea that technique is irrelevant. At the same time, the field does not support one universal perfect model. So in plain English, the body you bring to the lift changes the movement solutions available to you. So this is less about forcing one perfect position and more about finding the most efficient movement solution for the structure in front of you. To me, that points to a deeper system we may not be fully considering yet. That's the gap I'm positioning myself into. If strength mostly comes from adaptation, but technique still changes how much of that strength actually reaches the bar, that's where my model comes in. My theory is that a lifter can have a huge engine and still leak force through the system. They can still complete the rep because they are strong enough, explosive enough, experienced enough, or built well enough for the lift, or just straight up tough enough to survive bad positions. Does not automatically mean strength was expressed efficiently. It may mean raw capacity covered for a movement problem. So what I'm interested in is not just whether the rep went up. I'm interested in where force is being transferred well, where it's breaking down, how severe that breakdown is, and whether a structured movement model can improve how much of a lifter's available strength actually reaches the bar. Because if that's true, the implications are big. Technique is not just about looking clean, it becomes a system and a model to lean on to improve force expression, a way to make performance more repeatable, maybe even a way to build better tools and better interventions. And this is part of why I care so much about this. I have some before and after footage of my squat, where in one video I look like a twisted up folding chair, and after applying this system, the lift looks more organized, more elastic, and more springy. And I know that alone does not prove an entire model, but it points directly to the question I think matters. Can a structured movement model help a lifter express strength more efficiently? Not fake strength, not aesthetic strength, usable strength, because strength builds the engine. Efficiency dictates how much reaches the bar. So when I break down lifts, that is what I'm looking for. But where is force being transferred well? Where is it breaking down? My greatest limitation right now is limited data. I'm willing to provide free assessment and relevant interventions using my Z-axis framework. All you'll have to do is send me a lift. I'll break it down and give you 3 or 4 simple exercises to do before you lift on that day. We can compare before and after. Hi, my name is Zach. I'm a licensed doctor of physical therapy, and I've been powerlifting for over 10 years. This interested you? This is actually my first video. I'd really appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, or followed, depending on where you're watching.